Hello. All right. Do I have a... Do this for now. Not there, not there. There we are. Here we go. Save. All right, we're gonna not look at this. We're gonna wait for this to be... Oh, it's live. Refresh. There we go. Heyo. All right. That's done. That's done. Put up streamer bot just in case. I don't know if my position is good. I'll put it down here though, since there's kind of a thing at the top. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, it's pretty close up. Okay, got it. It's pretty close up. Got it. Got it. Hello. Hello. Drops enabled. I think they're only able for them, so make sure if you want the drops. What's up, Icky? If you want the drops, you might have to watch their specific stream. I would say it with an E so it doesn't do the auto message. Based. So based, bro. Four minutes hype. Get hype, chat. The reveal is coming. We already have some details because the website already updated like an hour ago with like some information. So we know some stuff, but obviously looking at it in video format is cooler, so... I'm really excited for the Legendary Battle Pack Spirit Selection chest. Hopefully it's not too hard to obtain, because then you can select any Legendary Battle Pack pet you want. Or maybe I get me another Swaying Bonnie. Pretty hyped for it. You might actually like this better than PoE1, by the way. As far as a like a quick like little game to play for like a week or two. The fact that you can play for free and not feel like bad about it. Unless you're like a hyper competitive, like pushing leaderboards kind of person. Already downloading it? Hell yeah. I say the new season starts next Friday. So you have like a week to kind of like figure stuff out. I'm probably just gonna play Serena again, which is the build I played last league. But they're adding a new autocast support early on. So like, and this game is very like, it's basically a mobile game imported into like PC essentially. So it's very like not button intensive eventually as you build your character further and further. And the campaign's super quick. Like you can finish the campaign. I think I finished it in like, once I understood what I was doing, it wasn't just like jacking it, listening to the story. I think I finished it in like 3 to 6 hours. I forgot exactly, but it's pretty quick compared to like PoE2 and whatnot. I spent more time deciding what character I wanted than it took to beat the campaign, because I started like 6 to 8 different characters, just seeing who I liked from. I played them to like level like 15, and I was like, all right. And I ended up settling on Serena afterwards, because tornadoes smile. But if you end up want to play a game and whatnot, you want me to help you find a build or something like that, let me know. And like most gacha games, there's like a lot of challenges and stuff you can do to get free rewards. So you don't have to spend money. You still like I got like 40 to 50 pulls last league, which gave me like a lot of good pets. And some of the pulls you can like target or like have a higher chance. Like you like, oh, I'm specifically looking for this pet in this pack, and it'll give you a higher % chance to like hit it that way. So, pretty cool. And even some of the male characters, like so, there's like a big muscly male character. One of the skins turns it into a big muscly female character. Not every character does that, but like there are some characters that, you know, if you don't like the aesthetic of one, the skin might drastically change it if it's something you care about more. In fact, I can probably load into it after this before I jump into Final Fantasy, kind of show you a little bit of stuff if you want. Here we go.
Welcome back everyone to the Torchlight Infinite Vorax season preview. I'm Andre, your community manager. This is shaping up to be one of the most extensive previews we've ever done. We're rolling out a new seasonal mechanic, a new hero, a brand new crafting system, 2 reworked hero traits, many overhauled damage systems, reworked legendaries, major updates to defensive options, a major UI overhaul, and tons more. Today, there's gonna be a lot to cover. Let's get to it.
Oh, you poor little thing. So very sick, aren't you?
Are you up a little? Yes, I can. Oh, wait. I think it's their volume is just very low. I have it maximum on the thing right now.
We'll piece you back together again.
Yeah, even for me, its volume is much lower than what he was talking a little bit ago. But I have it turned up as much as I can on OBS and as much as I can on the stream itself, so... which is very quiet for some reason.
Alright, let's get into the meat of the update, the Vorax gameplay loop. First, Netherrealm Collection. As you clear Netherrealm stages, you'll fight monsters infected with Vorax syndrome. Defeating them grants Vorax Substance, the currency for this season's mechanic. Phase 2 is Surgical Preparation. Spend Substance to open the preparation interface. where
up,
6
Marshall?
incubation tanks represent different monster families. Your goal here is to use these tanks to manipulate their stats, quantity, rarity, and most importantly, activity. You can use various surgical instruments and potions to modify these mobs.
Ooh, Metamorph League.
You can fuse them,
Oh, Marshall already
mutate
said it.
them, or call the weak to buff the strong. It all comes down to one stat, ultimate activity. The higher the total activity across your tanks, the better the loot drops are when you fight the corresponding monsters. Different monsters have different mechanics you can exploit. For example, the Agito rely on awakened mechanics. By using items related to neural functions, you can scale their difficulty and rewards based on intelligence stats.
Also, the number
The
scaling this
pests
game is like
specialize in reproduction,
insane.
otherwise
You
known
get
as
like you aim for
pack
billions and trillions of
If you want a
damage
screen
eventually.
filled with hundreds of mobs for massive kill
Billions
count
and
bonuses,
trillions.
focus on the pests.
Billions, billions,
To really
trillions.
push the limits, look out for incubation elixirs. These are race-specific power-ups. For example, the Hollow Cocoon for the pest race triggers a chain reaction, granting a sequence of potions that grow stronger each round and eventually spike ultimate activity. Every race, from Agitos to Bone Sentries, has its own unique god roll sequence to chase. The third phase is the surgery. You've prepped your tanks, now it's time to fight your creations. This is a combat encounter where you enter an arena and face off against the custom monstrosities you just built. As you defeat them, you fill antidote vials that determine your reward tiers. The more you fill the vial, the better
Ooh.
the payout. And a quick warning, keep an ear out for this sound. That signals a scavenger. He's a rare invader. He's fast, tanky, and he hits hard. He can interrupt your run, but if you take him down, he drops high value loot. Do not let him escape. For the players who want to push their builds to the limit, we're adding scalpels. These are netherrealm enhancers that don't take up your standard compass slots. For example, the Titanium Alloy Scalpel. It cranks up the difficulty by attracting more scavengers and elites, but it drives the reward scaling through the roof. Alright, let's talk about the new crafting system. We call it grafting. It's the
Loot.
most flexible crafting system we've ever added. It lets you combine stats that usually can't exist on the same item. During the Vorax mechanic, you'll find Vorax limbs. These are your crafting bases. They come with unique
Okay.
implicit stats that are totally different from normal gear drops.
Alright.
Once you have a base, you use items like organs to add affixes. Now here's the first big change. Vorax gear ignores attribute pools. For example, you can roll energy shield on dexterity gear.
Oh.
On top of that, certain Vorax gear slots share the same affix pool when adding ultimate affixes, giving you far more freedom to mix and match stats that usually don't go together.
I probably won't get into
Wanna
that
be
crafting,
unkillable?
not that into the
We've
end game,
grafted
but
armor, evasion, and energy shield all onto a single chest armor. Pair that with dual Kismet headless and chest defense scaling, and you're not wearing armor anymore. You're a walking fortress. But the real star of this season, legendary grafting. You can now take a piece of legendary gear, break it down, and extract its unique power. We call this a core organ. Then, you can graft that legendary power onto your Vorax rare gear. There are basically two rules. 1. You can have up to 2 legendary mods on a single piece of gear. 2. There are no slot restrictions. Now let me give you some examples of how this changes build making. Let's take a life consume build.
yeah, that's actually kind of insane.
Crimson King is essential for damage, but everyone wants that massive max life bonus usually found on Martyr staff. Now normally you have to choose between damage and survivability. But now in grafting, we can rip out that max life mod straight out of the armor and put it right into your weapon.
That's insane.
Now you merge the lethality of Crimson King with the tankiness of Martyr Staff in a single build. Keep the damage, gain the life, and
The
solve
crafting
the
in this
tankiness
game is
problem.
actually really, really cool. It's like, it
Now
starts
let's
easy
look
and
at
like
what a
understandable
win build.
to do.
It usually makes you move slowly. Usually you have to sacrifice damage to fix that.
So I actually
With
like crafting a lot in
grafting,
this game.
You can take the mobility charge from the Elegy of Immortality and put it on your helmet. Now, your movement skills refresh constantly while you spin. Need hotbar space? Trigger Bull's Rage from Frozen Flame or Frost Shield from Burning Ice on belts or boots. Easily auto-casting buffs with no ring tags. And attack builds get really crazy because they are no longer locked onto one pair of legendary gloves. When I play a build that runs Death's Touch, Ghost Slaughter, and Stray Bird's Return, well, now you can. Once you have your gear crafted, there is one final step for the brave. You can take your Vorax gear to the blacksmith for Vorax corrosion.
Double corruption.
This is a big gamble. If you hit the right outcome, you can upgrade your affixes. Legendary mods can hit tier 0, and normal grafted mods can even go higher, hitting tier 0+.
Plus 3 active? That's insane, actual. We're showing the new Erica. Erica 3, chat. Jiggle? Yeah, just jiggle physics over there.
Cat-Eye Erica is getting a brand new hero trait, Vendetta Sting. This is a darker version of Erica who was captured and held as a showpiece by Imperial nobles. Now, she's escaped.
It's Flicker Strike, chat. She has Flicker Strike.
Range. This trait is
Someone
built
tell Tyler
entirely around two things, proximity and speed. This is a high-risk, high-reward mechanic. The closer you are to your enemy, the more damage you deal. To help you stay in close range, she has some of the best mobility in-game. But here's the cool part. You don't just use mobility to move, you use it to kill. As you unlock her traits, her movement skills will automatically trigger your main attack skills.
My eyes,
That
yeah,
means
you don't need to see your
stop
screen
moving
anymore.
to swing your weapon. Just dash through the pack and the attacks happen automatically. It creates this incredibly fast, fluid playstyle where you're constantly zipping between enemies, dealing burst damage without ever standing still. Now, we realized during testing that this playstyle is kinda, intense. Because she moves so fast, the camera effects can be a bit disorienting for some players. So we added a new quality of life feature specifically for this trait. You can go into your battle settings and toggle the camera slow motion effect. If the high-speed visuals are making you dizzy, just turn that on and you have a stable, clear view of the action while you tear through the map. If you like speed, burst damage, and playing right on the edge of danger, Vendetta Sting is the trait for you. Now, if melee isn't really your style, spellcasters are getting a brand new mechanic called Tangle. Usually, playing a spellcaster means spamming a button or relying on spell burst. Tangle works differently. Think of it as a parasite mechanic. Instead of casting the spell at the enemy,
Copy that
you plant
effect.
the spell inside them.
That would be really nice for a lot of people, yeah.
Once the Tangle is attached, it effectively auto-casts a spell on that
Oh shit,
target
it's brands,
over
chat.
and
They
over
added
again for the
brands.
entire duration. You tap them, and the damage keeps rolling.
They added brands,
And
chat.
the best part, it spreads. When your target dies,
Pro
the
lift
Tangle
brands?
doesn't disappear. It jumps to the next nearest enemy and keeps working.
Hey yo.
Let's look at how this changes some classic skills. Chromatic Shot usually requires good positioning to hit all your projectiles. With the Tangle variant, it locks on. You
That's
get
actually,
perfect accuracy
kinda crazy.
without trying. Ice Lance basically turns the enemy into an automatic frost turret. It's like a machine gun that fires itself. Chain Lightning. If you stick tangles on a group of enemies, each tangle triggers its own chain lightning. the bolts bounce back and forth between the targets. It absolutely melts high-density packs.
Oh man, am I not gonna play Serena
To
this
skill
time? I'm gonna
Tangle,
try something
focus on
just
two
different.
stats.
I might have
First,
to.
Tangle Quantity. This lets you infect more enemies at once. Second, Tangle Stack Limit. This lets you stack more tangles on a single target, crucial for single target boss damage. Keep an eye out for new legendaries, such as Old Grudge. This necklace boosts Tangle Quantity and Duration as a solid starter option. Later, Malign Embrace greatly increases critical strike damage for faster clears. For melee players, we're expanding the combo skill system with new moves and new scaling options. Gale Slash focuses on mobility. The opener is a two-stage dash that cuts through enemies, followed by a leap attack finisher for heavy damage. Slotting the new noble support Soaring greatly extends the travel distance, letting you leap across large portions of the screen. Spectral Slash opens with a wide sweep that marks enemies. Its finisher summons up to 5 clones that leap to mark targets. Two new supports change how it plays. The Legion support doubles clone count based on nearby enemies for faster clear. The Synchrony support lines clones behind you, slamming in unison to create a focused shockwave. To tie it all together, we're adding Shockwave Warcry, a skill built for combo setups. It taunts nearby enemies and scales finisher damage based on how many are affected. Each successful finisher stacks bonus damage and area of effect, rewarding players who keep the combo going. To support all these new builds, we're adding a batch of new legendaries. Here are a few of the highlights. First is a chest armor called Silent Avowal. This is one for the block-based tanks. Its main gimmick is that it reverses your block chance and block ratio. It forces you to balance your stats carefully. When attack and spell block chance are the same, it will provide a high block ratio. If they are unequal, the higher value gets the lucky property, meaning the game rolls twice and gives you the better result. On top of that, it scales your damage and reduces incoming damage over time based on how high your block stats are. If you want to build a beefy blocker, then this is your chest armor. Next, we have another chest piece called Futile Trade-Off. This is designed for the min-maxers who want to stack a single main stat to the moon. It gives you a huge bonus to one main stat, but lowers your other main stats in exchange. It also has a unique defensive layer. If your total main stats stay below a threshold, you get a flat reduction to incoming elemental damage. It's perfect for specialized builds that don't need to be well-rounded to work. Finally, for the summoners, we have the Iron and Bloom Helmet. This unlocks multi-strike for your minions. It gives them a base multi-strike count and ramps up their damage with every hit in the sequence. And if you land the right corrosion, it upgrades the item so that, based on your minion's command or growth, attacks have a chance to bypass the ramp up and instantly deal damage equal to the max multi-strike count. It turns your minions into burst damage machines. Next, let's talk about balance. This season isn't just about new content. It's a massive overhaul of the underlying systems. We have revamped 2 hero mechanics, 3 damage systems, tweaked some legendaries, and updated a ton of defensive options. The headline feature this season is a full rework of the ailment system. Previously, ailment builds were restrictive and unclear, so we rebuilt them from the ground up. First, base ailment damage now has a variable range, just like your hit damage. This means stats like chance to inflict ailment are much more important now. You need to balance 3 things: chance, duration, and hit count. Change number 2. Ailment stacks have been standardized to improve clarity and game performance. Wilt is now capped at 50 stacks. Trauma is fixed at 1 stack. Ignite now starts at 1 stack and can scale up to 4 through progression and items. To help you hit these caps, we've buffed specific legendaries. Take the helmet Sun's
I don't know if anyone
It
can
gives
hear me because
+1 to
I'm
your
losing so
ignite
many
limit
frames right
and
now, and it's
adds
gonna be like super
extra
delayed.
stacks. This
But
is
we're
now best
steadily
in slot for
dropping
breaking that
frames
fire
again,
damage ceiling.
so I'm probably gonna
Then look
not
at the glove's
stream
Chaos
today.
Abyss. When enemies are affected by less than 50 wield stacks, it doubles your duration.
There it goes.
This makes it way easier for slower skills to maintain maximum stacks. Change number 3. Gear affixes. We've simplified how you get damage on gear.